shoot him in the head with your future blue gun. Hi, I'm Jason Inman. I like to read comic books. I also like to watch TV shows that are based around comic books, including television shows like Legends of Tomorrow. I'm going to give you a recap, the good, the bad, and some Easter eggs about Legends of Tomorrow Episode 5. So let's hop into a quick recap and then I'll give you some Easter eggs. In this episode, the team is still in the 80s in the USSR with Martin Stein, Ray Palmer, and Heatwave still captured in a Russian gulag. Luckily, Captain Cold and Sarah come to the rescue, but not before Rip Hunter says, hey, you might need to kill Martin Stein if it comes down to it. Cut to Martin Stein and a Russian scientist blending together and becoming Firestorm until ultimately being defeated by Jack Jefferson himself. The team raise their glasses in celebration until they are knocked into the future of 2046 and Star City, where they see a green arrow that could possibly be Connor Hawke. Here are some of the Easter eggs that I noticed in Episode 5 of Legends of Tomorrow. There's a very cute line where Captain Cold explains to Rip Hunter that this isn't my first prison break. And that, of course, is an amazing reference to Wentworth Miller's series Prison Break, which was on Fox, where he and the actor that played Heatwave broke out of a prison. They actually broke out of a prison, lasted for 3 seasons on Fox. You knew that it was coming since both actors were on the show, and they played brothers on Prison Break. You knew that this Easter egg was coming eventually. But let's talk about the big Easter egg in the room, the Green Arrow who's not Oliver Queen in 2046. Now, I'm putting this out right here. I believe this is Connor Hawke. Yes, the second Green Arrow. Of course, his costume looks very similar to Connor Hawke's of the DC Comics. And Connor Hawke, if you don't know, was Oliver Queen's son in the 90s, his replacement Green Arrow once Oliver Queen died in the comics in the 90s, and he was created by Chuck Dixon. He was also a famous member of Grant Morrison's JLA, but I am so excited now because of the next episode, because Connor Hawke is in it. My 90s heart is beating. Let's talk about some of the good stuff that happened in this episode. I love that we got to see Cisco in this episode, Cisco from The Flash. Of course, it was a fake out because Martin Stein was being drugged because of the Russian scientist trying to get the Firestorm Matrix formula out of him, but it was still a nice scene to jump back into the world of the Flash, because it's very interesting. This episode begins with a jump into the world of the Flash and then a jump into the world of the Arrow. So it's kind of nice to have both ends package each other quite nicely. During one part of the episode where they're not sure that they can save Martin Stein from the gulag, Rip Hunter pulls Sarah aside and tells Sarah to kill Martin Stein if she gives the chance, because that's the only way they can save the timeline, and Star City is being bewitched by firestorms in the future. Now, I really love this moment. Why? Because there's a rule in Doctor Who, and there's a lot of Doctor Who in this episode, and the rule is that you cannot trust the Doctor. And I like that we're moving into this series not being able to quite trust Rip, because if Rip is a good guy and he's all on the surface, you're going to get very tired of his motivations. But if you don't know that everything that Rip is telling you is the truth, then the series becomes very interesting, especially since 3 members of the team have unsavory practices. You have Sarah, an assassin, and you have 2 criminals. So it's interesting that you don't know which way that Rip is going to tip. And it also makes you wonder, what if Rip's version of the future is not exactly true? It opens up a lot of possibilities, and I like this dark edge to Rip Hunter. There was a lot of great and very cool action scenes in this episode, especially I love this one moment where Sarah is walking down the Russian gulag hallway, and she throws these ninja stars and then just kicks everybody's asses. I thought that was a really, really great shot. There also was an interesting turn of events where Captain Cold was convincing Sarah not to kill Martin Stein. Yes, that's right, guys. We're 5 episodes into Legends of Tomorrow, and already Captain Cold is sort of being the hero. Now, it's very interesting because he wanted to leave Ray Palmer in his cell. When he broke out, he gets to the cell of Heatwave and Ray Palmer. He opens the door, and he just tells Heatwave to leave Ray Palmer, and Heatwave's like, he took a beating for me. He took a beating. I'm not leaving him. He took a beating. And Captain Cold's like, just leave him. Who cares? So it's very interesting that in this very same episode, Captain Cold was like, hey, look, I've never killed any of my crew, and Sarah, don't let us be pawns for him. Like, I'm the criminal, you're the assassin, don't be his assassin. Which I think leads that if we go down this road and Rip Hunter has some more of these unsavory secrets, that Captain Cold is going to be the one to expose them. At the very end, when the Russian girl became the girl Firestorm, it was really, really awesome to see Martin Stein physically control her body. Now, that is something that we have not seen with his mergings with Ronnie Raymond and Jax Jefferson. We've not seen him be able to control the body. So that's interesting. That also leads up that there's going to be a duality about who controls the body while they're controlling it. And I think that could lead to some interesting plot lines, like, say Jax's left hand is like firing and Martin Stein's right hand is like transmuting matter, and they're fighting about what's the best plan of attack. That could lead to some very interesting fight situations. And then finally getting to see 2046, and you get to see Smoke Industries. That's another Easter egg where Smoke Industries has taken over Palmer Tech and Queen Industries. We get to see a Green Arrow, and I swear to God, it looks like Connor Hawk. It has to be Connor Hawk, and this is my 90s heart is just exploding because I love Connor Hawk. I love that when him, Kyle Rayner, and Wally West were all in the Justice League, and they were like the fast friends. There was a couple storylines where they did it that went through all three of the titles. There's one where they go to a cruise ship. So the fact that we're seeing Connor Hawk in live action is amazing, and the fact that they kept his ethnicity. I like that they didn't just turn him into a white guy, because that's not who Connor Hawk is in the comic books, so I'm glad that they respected that. I think we have a very exciting episode next week. Old Oliver and Connor Hawk. This is going to be really awesome. Now let's go to a couple of the bad things that I didn't like in this episode. First thing that stood out to me, I did not like the Russian woman scientist, the woman that was constantly pleading with Martin Stein to give me the formula, give me the formula. I thought in the previous episode where she was flirting with Captain Cold, I thought she was great. I thought she was fine. I know that some people in the comments mentioned that she was, her name is, she's a member of the Doom Patrol. I missed that. I'm sorry I missed that. But I thought that she was a little bit too far. Like, it got a little tired because every scene setup was like, give me the formula. And Martin Stein's like, no. And the next scene, give me the formula. No. Okay, let's torture your friends. Give me the formula. No. Stop stalling and give me the formula. No. Okay, we're going to turn the machine and you just walk in. And for some reason it works. It doesn't quite jive, and she pushed it too far, and I didn't like at the end where she was just like, I have fire on my hands, it didn't work for me. I know some people in the comments of these videos have said that they think that Wentworth Miller is mustache twiddling too far, but I don't know, he does it so subtle, and he does it with an edge of humor that I can stand it. With here, she was just like, I am villain. Yes. The other thing that I didn't like was when Rip Hunter confronted Vandal Savage, and I love the idea, like I said, I've mentioned before in previous videos of Legends of Tomorrow recaps, that I like that Vandal Savage is sort of in this paradox where Rip Hunter introduced the idea of him killing his own family, so they're in this self-fulfilling paradox. What I don't like is that Rip Hunter should have just killed Vandal Savage again, right? Yeah, I don't care that he regenerates, and I know you all are like, well, that's not going to kill him. Hawk Girl can kill him. Don't say that in the comments because I already know that. I'm saying that right here. But if you kill him, he takes time to regenerate, which means that he can't do his nefarious and criminal enterprises. You at least put a dam in all the bad stuff that he's going to do, and maybe you save a couple lives here and there. So why not every time you see him, shoot him in the head? Don't just walk away. Don't give him a quippy line. Shoot him in the head with your future blue gun. Do it, Rip Hunter. Now, if I were to give a rating of this episode, I would give this, let's say, I could give it from between 5 Captain Coldheads and 1 Captain Coldhead, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. I would give it a 3 because I think it was a solid action episode, but overall, I felt the character development was really lacking except for a couple points, and I don't know if it really progressed the story that far. With the ending in Star City, I know that we have a really, really strong next episode coming up, and this is part of the reason why I'm so excited for Legends Tomorrow, why I was excited when they announced this show. The possibilities of seeing heroes that we already know in the Flareverse, and what could happen to them in all the different permutations. Now, we know we are in Star City in the next episode, and I want to ask all you, and tell me in the comments, what Arrow character do you most want to see in the very next episode? We know that Stephen Amell's in it, but what if they're hiding somebody else? What if they're hiding Athea? And I'm going to throw out a long shot. I know he's not in the episode, well, he could be in the episode, I don't know. They haven't revealed it yet. I would love to see Colton Haynes as Roy Harper, as full-on Arsenal, like an Argus agent. Maybe he's missing an arm as well. I think it'd be really cool to see him in the 2046 timeline. So you guys let me know in the comments, what Arrow character do you most want to see in next week's episode, or would you love to see the most, even if they're not in there or not? But just, let me know. And you know what? I'm going to let you know that you can support any of these recap shows that I do. I do Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl, and we also do Agent Carter. You can do all those at Patreon right here. And guys, go hop on over to that Supergirl review we do every Monday. Ashley Robinson kills it. Go check that out right there. You can check out all those videos and more. Don't forget to click subscribe. I'm Jason Inman. Travel to the future, and I'll be seeing you.